What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Xbox partner preview that just happened, November 2025, the partner preview that just took place. Not a lot of games, but a couple of games were talked about. It was about a 30-minute show, and I looked into it, and there were enough games there that caught my eye that I decided I wanted to make a video on it. That's what I like to try and do with these events and shows that kind of take place. I'll pay attention to all of them. If I don't watch them fully through, I'll kind of look at the games that were shown and announced, and based on that, I decide if I want to make a video or not. There have been a couple of state of plays that PlayStation's put together that really haven't caught my attention with enough games. I don't really want to make a video if the state of play or whatever event is happening only has like 3 or 4 games that really interest me that I want to talk about. But this partner preview is actually a pretty solid show in my opinion. There are 8 games from that show that I want to talk about today and that caught my eye. So we're just going to have a casual, chill conversation, talk about some brand new games that were shown off, and just hang out. Let's talk about games, new games that were shown off. So without further ado, let's dive in. So how I typically like to do these videos is go from top to bottom, start to finish, and just go through the games that I saw in order of how they appeared in the show and talk about them that way. But there's a couple of games that were my games of the show, 2 games in particular that were my games of the show, that I'm going to save for the end of the video. So these first 6 kind of happen in order, and then I've taken those last 2 and moved them to the end because those were my favorite games that I saw. So the first game is actually the first game they showed off, and it's called Armatis, or maybe Armatis, one of those 2 maybe. It is a brand new game from Counterplay Games, who is the developer behind Godfall, which I'm pretty sure was like a looter shooter, third-person co-op. It was a launch game for PlayStation 5. I think it was an exclusive, something like that. I never played it. I've heard of the game before, never really got into it or was interested in playing it. But this game looked pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It is a first-person roguelite that is set in Paris. It looks action-packed. The trailer kind of gave me vibes. At first, I thought it was a brand new Remnant game, which that would have been really cool. It gave me Remnant. The main character that it seems like you're gonna play as looks like he's straight out of Destiny, so that's kind of cool. It had some cool things going on in the trailer, some interesting art and visuals. Looks pretty cool. This one definitely caught my eye. It is coming in 2026 for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox, all of that fun stuff, and it caught my eye. It looked pretty solid. We'll see if this is anything that's going to generate any buzz. This might be a game that looks cool now, but kind of just gets lost in how packed next year's going to be. But for right now, start the show. This was a pretty cool announcement. The Mound Omen of Cthulhu is a brand new Lovecraftian co-op survival horror game, and this one looked pretty cool. I like the art style. I'm always going to be a sucker for that Lovecraftian, squids and just gross architecture and visuals and art style going on. It's a first-person shooter. Looks like it's going to be co-op. I'm not really sure what the gameplay premise is, so we'll kind of see how that is going to occur throughout the game. But it's a cool concept, cool setting. Like I said, I'm a sucker for that setting. So this one caught my eye. This one could be cool. Like I said, another game that looks cool in the presence of this showcase, but with how stacked next year is going to be, might be one that kind of gets lost and not talked about. I hope not for all of these games. I do hope they get their chance to shine. But this one is coming for PC and consoles in summer 2026. I definitely need to shout this game out, Crowsworn. This game looks super cool, definitely akin to something like a Hollow Knight. This looks very, very similar to that. And to be fair, Hollow Knight is not something I've given a shot. It's not really my type of game, it seems like. Maybe one day I'll try Hollow Knight Silksong. I know those games are critically loved. Everyone really, really enjoys those games with that art style, the combat. It's got really good pacing, gameplay, and difficulty that people will just come back to. The music is great, and this game gave all of those vibes off, but with this sort of like Bloodborne style aesthetic. The art style looks sick. The music that was playing in the trailer looks awesome. If I'm being honest, this is one that I probably won't play because it's a game that's like a Hollow Knight, but I had to shout it out because this trailer was really, really cool. The gameplay looks sick. I mean, all of this game looks really, really cool. And for the people who are itching for more of that Hollow Knight kind of gameplay, this game looks like it is for you. There's no release date, but this game is coming to consoles, PC, and it is coming to Game Pass day one. So looks really, really cool, and I'm happy for the people that are excited for this game. And big surprise for me, did not know this was even a thing, but looks really cool. Next up is 007 First Light. This is the brand new James Bond game coming from IO Interactive. And first off, I just want to say this trailer was, I mean, not really that great. We were kind of advertised to get something new from 007 First Light from this event, and we got a very short, like 30-40 second trailer showing off Aston Martin, the fact that they're going to be in the game. I mean, that's cool and all, but obviously a lot of people were hoping to see more. But all in all, this game I am excited for. I do love the Hitman games coming from IOI, and the fact that they're going to try to tackle James Bond is really cool to me. I am excited and intrigued to see what they can do. This game is coming out next year. It already has a release date early next year, and we're kind of seeing that first part, that first quarter of the year fill in, and this is already one that we had a release date for, and we got very, very little from this trailer, but a little bit more to see from this game. This game is coming on March 27th. Reanimal is the next game I want to talk about, coming from the developers behind the original Little Nightmares, bringing that style and that kind of formula to a co-op setting, something that we just saw Little Nightmares 3 do from Supermassive, a game that I was interested in checking out at the beginning of the year, a game that I'm not going to get around to checking out. Never even played the Little Nightmares games. Those are games that I have wanted to get around to. I just haven't yet. But this style of game has always intrigued me. I will always at least want to give those games a shot. Maybe that's something I get to next year as my first time finishing video. But this new game coming from the original developers of Little Nightmares looks really cool. Looks like a lot of what we've seen with Little Nightmares, but with a new twist on it, that being co-op. That's always going to get me into these types of games. Let me experience it with a friend. Let's see how things go there. I hope it's creepy. It's got really good horror, creepy atmosphere, great puzzles, all that stuff that you would come to expect from a game like this. So Reanimal is looking really cool, and it does have a release date now of February 13th. So that first quarter of the year, like I said, is starting to fill out. We got this 2 weeks before Resident Evil Requiem. So February is kind of looking like a survival horror and just kind of horror kind of month. So that's pretty cool to see. So Reanimal is coming February 13th of next year. This is not a brand new game, but this is a game that I've wanted to check out, and I finally have the chance to, and that is Clover Pit, which got its surprise console release today and is also shadow dropped onto Game Pass. So that is how I'm going to play this game. Clover Pit, I've seen a lot of things about. I've heard very good things about it. It kind of seems like this year's Balatro, except on a smaller scale, but a lot of people have said really good things about it. It's got that addicting slot machine gameplay. This time it's actually like a slot machine. With Balatro, it was more of like a poker. You see the numbers go up, the numbers get big, and that kind of strikes that addicting quality. But Clover Pit is one that I've had my eye on. I was probably going to snag it on some sort of sale. I think it goes for $10 originally, so you could probably get this one really cheap on a sale. But now that it's on Game Pass, I finally have the excuse to play it, and I will be sinking some time into it in preparation for Game of the Year. So excited to check that out. Not a brand new game announcement, but a cool one that I will definitely check out. Clover Pit is on consoles and Game Pass today. And now one of my games of the show, that being Total Chaos. This game looks really, really cool. The developer is Trigger Happy Interactive. Apparently this is a game that's been announced before, but I guess maybe has been kind of in a rough development. A lot of people have been waiting for it, and this one is a surprise announcement and surprise shadow drop. The game is out today, and it is shadow dropped into Game Pass. So I will be checking this game out. It looked really, really cool. This really creepy first-person survival horror, maybe even psychological horror kind of thing going on. This looks really cool. The music in the trailer definitely intrigued me as well. A lot of cool things happening. I mean, definitely a game that caught my attention. I really like these first-person survival horror games. I don't know, for some reason I really enjoy a first-person survival horror because aside from third person, or I guess against third person, it just feels like you're more immersed in the setting and what's going on, and you can really feel what's supposed to be happening, what's supposed to be scaring you or creeping you out. So anything that's like this type of game, this type of style, Total Chaos, looks really cool to me. I will be checking it out, hopefully finishing it if it's any good. I've heard some pretty good things so far just based on early impressions of the game, but definitely excited to check this one out. Officially out today, shadow dropped, and on Game Pass as well. And the last game I want to talk about, which is my game of the show for sure, is Vampire Crawlers. This one, huge surprise. I feel like anyone that was watching the show definitely caught off guard by this one. A great trailer with some humor in it, and Poncool is taking this same art style, putting you in first person, and it's a roguelike deck builder with the same thing you would expect from Vampire Survivors turned into this new genre. Crazy numbers, tons of things happening on the screen. I mean, they have somehow taken what makes Vampire Survivors look so cool and the gameplay be so good and turn it into a completely different genre, and it looks like it still has that fun, that charm, that addicting gameplay that everyone that played Vampire Survivors fell in love with, and that spawned a new genre of games that so many people have been taking inspiration from and making their own spin on it. And this Vampire Crawlers looks really, really cool. This one is coming 2026 to all consoles, and it is coming to Game Pass day one. Really excited about Vampire Crawlers. I loved Vampire Survivors, played a lot of that game, and I have no doubt that I will be doing the same thing with Vampire Crawlers when it drops next year. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out and talking about the Xbox partner preview for November 2025. A couple of interesting games that caught my eye that I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me down in the comments what games you saw from this preview that really interested you. There's a couple other games that were shown off and announced, the other big one being Tithe of Annihilation. I know I didn't talk about that, but that game is just not really my type of thing, but I'm excited for the people who have been looking forward to that game and are excited to play it. Also, a weird announcement being Eminem and Hitman. That's just one of those weird crossovers that is super fun. You know, they're just having fun with it now with Hitman. Really enjoy seeing that. But some very interesting games that were announced today. A couple of shadow drops. I think it was an overall pretty good show for what it was. Just get you in, get you out. 25-30 minutes, and that's exactly what it delivered. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll talk to you later.